On behalf of the Department of Public Social Services and the Riverside County Continuum of Care, we would like to thank you for your time and service. We understand that your time is valuable, so your commitment and sacrifice mean a lot to us. Without your contribution, we would have a difficult road ahead of us. This is an exciting time of year because we have the opportunity to see city and county agencies, law enforcement agencies, community leaders, and the public at large come together to help end homelessness in Riverside County. The point-in-time count is a physical count of the sheltered and unsheltered homeless populations in certain locations. It's conducted nationally at one single point in time within the last 10 days of January. You may be thinking, why the last 10 days of January when it's so cold? Well, in many parts of the country, the cold temperatures would prevent homeless individuals from sleeping on the street. They would most likely be sleeping in homeless shelters and would be included in our automated shelter count instead of the street count. During the 2016 PID count, approximately 35% of our total homeless were counted in the unsheltered street count. The remaining 65% were counted in the shelters. Why do we conduct a point-in-time count? The PID count is a federally mandated biennial event that is required by our federal partner and funder, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD. Its purpose is to determine the extent of homelessness in our communities. The PID count raises public awareness about homeless issues in the county, and HUD uses the data collected to determine the amount of resources and funding needed to assist homeless programs throughout Riverside County. Many counties across the nation have committed to conduct the PID count annually, including Riverside County. As a PID count volunteer, you will receive a confirmation of your assigned city deployment site and report time approximately 5 to 7 days prior to the count date. If you expressed an interest in volunteering in multiple cities, please be patient. You will be assigned to one of the cities that you specified, the one that needs you the most. On the morning of the count, you will report to your assigned deployment site at the specified report time. Please be on time. Please don't be late. Remember that every city deployment site may be set up differently or operate a little differently. Once you check in at the city deployment site, you will receive team instructions, team assignments, maps, supplies, and incentive bags. We ask that you bring a flashlight from home just in case you need it. To conduct the count, each volunteer will be assigned to a count team. Each count team will be provided with maps and assigned to pre-identified locations or areas. Each count team will be responsible to canvass only their assigned areas. Please only canvass the areas that you are assigned to. If you identify homeless in other areas, please get approval from your deployment site leader or law enforcement escort. For safety purposes, we do not want you wandering off into locations that may be unsafe. Some areas might be running behind, So if you finish your count early, please contact your deployment site leader and let them know the team is finished and offer to help out if your assistance is needed. Also, if you're in the middle of the count in one of your assigned areas and it's after 9:30, please complete the task before returning to the deployment site. The team assignments are chosen by the city deployment site leader. There are 3 suggested volunteer roles on each team: the team leader, counter or survey taker, and the lookout. It is important to note that some cities may have larger count team sizes. If your team is escorted by a law enforcement officer, your team may have more than one counter or survey taker. Team leaders are assigned at the deployment site based on experience. The team leader is usually a person that has volunteered in the past or someone that's very familiar with the process. Team leaders are in charge of ensuring safety and making sure that the team is equipped with all of the resources needed. The team leader will be the go-to person in case of illness or emergencies. The team leader will also be responsible for getting all of the surveys back to the deployment site. The counter or survey taker will be in charge of conducting the interview and completing the survey tool. And last but not least, the lookout will be in charge of paying close attention to the surrounding environment and activities and assisting with safety. Dress comfortable and appropriately for the climate. Wear a light colored shirt without logos and no open-toed shoes or jewelry. Boots or hiking shoes are recommended if available. We ask that you bring your ID, mobile phone, and a flashlight from home if you have one. For your own safety, please do not bring the following items to the pit count: your valuables, for example, jewelry or wedding rings, large purses or backpacks, firearms or weapons, and of course, illegal drugs. Please leave these items at home. Ladies, if you need to bring a small purse, please consider bringing a small purse that you can strap closely to your body that will not be easily seen. As you are conducting the unsheltered pit count, who do you count? You want to count all individuals and families that are residing on the street, in a car, park, abandoned building, bus, train station, airport, or camping ground. Simply put, any location that is not usually meant or used for human habitation. If the individual slept in any of these locations on the night before the count, they are considered homeless for this survey. It is important to note that volunteers are not allowed to enter abandoned buildings without a police or code enforcement escort. One of the primary reasons for conducting the pit count is to get quality data from the surveys collected. Volunteer survey takers can help us to get quality data by asking questions as they are stated on the survey, reading all of the response options to the interviewee, marking the responses as provided by the interviewee, and completing the entire survey as much as possible. Keep it accurate and complete. Good quality data helps us to make good informed decisions about our funding and services needed to end homelessness in Riverside County. At the conclusion of the count, all volunteers must return to their respective deployment sites to check out. Each city deployment site leader will be asked to confirm that every volunteer that was sent into the field returned back to the deployment site safely. Do not leave without first checking in. To prepare for the upcoming pit count, please practice using the survey tool at home on your family, friends, and neighbors. Practicing with the tool will allow you to gain familiarity with the survey format and to become comfortable asking each question. Thank you once again for agreeing to be one of our most valued pit count volunteers. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact us at 951-358-3844 or email us at rivcopit@riversidedpss.org. Before leaving, please take a few minutes to complete the following test questions.